Welcome back to another live match watch-along. Welcome back to the Two Blues podcast. We are, of course, focusing on the under-21s today. Under-21s against Crystal Palace. The under-18s are in action also playing at Cobham at home against Birmingham in a fixture that was rearranged from yesterday to today. But Chelsea go in with Harry Hudson's first game in charge of the under-21s, obviously previously managed this season by Callum McFarlane, who has since been promoted to part of Liam Rossinia's first team backroom staff. Harry Hudson promoted from the under-18s assistant manager to now running the under-21s. The first lineup of his new regime. In goal, Max Merrick. Out the back, Genesis Antwi, Caden Wilson, Olatayo Subaloi, Landon Emanalo, who I was hopeful would get some minutes tonight against Charlton. Unfortunately, I highly doubt he will if he's starting today. I highly doubt he's going to join up with the first team for 8 o'clock tonight. But he does start at left back in the under-21 side with Ollie Harrison, Leo Cardoso, and a returning Keanu Dyer in midfield. Returning from his loan at FC Volendam, where he has not got very many minutes in the last couple of months over in the Eredivisie. So he has been recalled from his loan. He did start the first game in midweek against Benfica, but back in the starting lineup again for the Premier League game today. And then Reggie Walsh also in the midfield. And then those front two, Shamira Mhueka obviously leading the line as the number 9. And all eyes today on Jesse Derry, number 11, his first return to Crystal Palace since joining Chelsea at the start of the season. It's going to be a big game today. There is a lot of talk focused on the academy, on the youth side of things. A lot of scrutiny, particularly promotions. I'm not too sure whether I can justify that they were deserved. I mean, I don't know if I am well enough placed to say whether these guys, have earned their space in the back room. In terms of a track record, Callum McFarlane does not have a great record this season. The under-21s do not have a fantastic record this season. So it's one of those where I think the academy might take a little bit. Oh, Chelsea nearly in straight away there. Really high aggressive press. And Jesse Derry sticking it on his opposite number straight from the off. But yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of an adjusting period for the academy. Obviously, Hassan Suleimani, the under-18 manager, has managed them for years. As been part of the Chelsea Football Club for I think 18 years or something ridiculous like that. Maybe 8. I might be embellishing that number slightly. Whatever it is an awful long time. So for him not to get this job, I was a little bit not necessarily miffed because I don't really have a stake in it. But at the same time, to see someone who's been part of Chelsea Football Club for so long ousted in favour of someone, from Joe Shields' Kinetic Academy or Kinetic, whatever it was called. We will see. I have no doubt that he will be, a very good football manager. Whether he's more deserving than some of the other coaches, will be left to be seen. But, I've got more than enough faith on the talent on the pitch and, a very, very good quality Chelsea side, boosted by, obviously, like I said, the return of Keanu Dyer, who now, although he doesn't have very much, he does have some first-team football under his belt. Obviously, made his first appearance for Enzo Maresca's Chelsea in the Conference League last season, and did play a couple of games for Volendam. Like I said, didn't get too many minutes in the last couple of months, but has had some first-team football under his belt. So he will just be looking, I think, to get full match fitness up. I think he will probably be a little bit leggy. I can't imagine he will play the full 90, but we will see. Under-21s did play in midweek, their first game back since the new year. They did play Benfica in the Premier League International Cup. Unfortunately, lost 6-2, an incredibly resounding loss on the same night that the first team lost 2-1 to Fulham. It was not an enjoyable night. But anyway, the corner has been turned. New manager for the under-21s, new manager for the first team, new manager for the under-18s. Let's see. Let's see how we do. I think the one to watch, as I mentioned straight away, the one to watch today is Jesse Derry. Reminder as well, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel for all the latest and greatest Chelsea content. Not just reactions, reports. We do live match watch-alongs from the academy. We cover the loan players, the first team. If it's got anything to do with Chelsea, we cover it on this channel. And you will be getting the December edition of Loan Watch very early on next week. Obviously focused predominantly on Leo Castledine, who not only won Player of the Month for Huddersfield last year, and I think EFL Player of the Month last month. But yeah, he is also now, congratulations to him, he has also managed to, go on, Derry. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's a very, very good cross. He's managed to stand up two defenders on the edge of the box and get a cross in with his weak left foot. And it's not a bad ball. Just not particularly close to Shin Mhueka. What was I saying? I can't remember. Let us know. I suppose it's a good opportunity as well. That's what I was talking about. Loan. He is now Castledine has now managed to play himself into a move. He's wangled himself a permanent move to Middlesbrough. His performances have been that good for Huddersfield in League One this season. We've cut his loan short from Huddersfield, recalled him, and then sent him on a permanent transfer to Middlesbrough. I'll be honest, it does seem a little bit iffy, the lack of fee. I think it was 2.53 million was the fee that I'd seen. And I can understand that, yes, pure profit. Excellent. Yeah. It's all the owners care about these days. But I mean, I've been a big fan of Leo Castledine for a long, long time. He's been one of my favourite players in the Chelsea Academy. Gutted to see him go. Glad to see that he has deservedly got his move. And he will be playing more first team football because he doesn't deserve to be in an academy. He does deserve to be playing first team football. But that being said, I'm surprised that he's gone for so cheap. I thought he definitely would have. Jesse Derry's gone for a short or low corner, should I say, and it has not worked out. Crystal Palace now looking to break immediately from the corner. And that's a lovely back heel. Has Lallana got the pace? He does. Well played. Great covering, great tracking back. And manages to get the ball back to Max Merrick because Chelsea would have been in trouble if that back heel had gone through. But yeah, Leo Castledine, I can't complain about him getting the move or anything like that because, to be completely honest, I think it was one of those where he was never really good enough to break through into the first team. That being said, though, he is an excellent player. And I think particularly for League One Championship level, one of the better players in League One at the moment. He's scoring for fun. Huddersfield fans rate him very, very highly for a good reason, and you will hear more about why he is so highly rated on the next week's episode, because we are going to get a Huddersfield Town fan on just to give us a little bit more in-depth. Go on! Heavy touch from Crystal Palace keeper, and Jesse Derry nearly nicked it off him on the edge of the box. And I tell you what, there's been a couple of loose passes at the back from Crystal Palace already 6 minutes in that Chelsea could have capitalised on. And maybe just if we're, switched on, if a couple more games under our belt, a little bit more match fit, maybe Chelsea are already 1-0 up. I did mention Emanalo at the start of the video and said he was one that I was kind of hoping might be involved in the first team tonight. It was kind of him or Genesis Antwi. I figured Antwi might be closer to being called up, but having seen Jesse Derry, Landon Emanalo, Reggie Walsh training with the first team under Liam Rossinier in his first training session yesterday, I was hopeful that he would get minutes. And kind of similarly with Jesse Derry, it's no secret, if you follow me, if you know anything about me, I do not like Garnacho. I do not think he's a very good footballer. I think Jesse Derry's better. I think at the moment, Jesse Derry would do a better job than Jamie Gittins in the first team. I think at the moment, if we're taking the last 2 games into account, he does a better job than Pedro Neto. So I think for him, maybe it's a case of the occasion and, him wanting to play against Crystal Palace. And obviously, at the end of the day, we do want to field our best under-21s team. This is Harry Hudson's first game in charge. So I get why he's played him, but I kind of wanted to see him. The one thing that I am hopeful, though, is because obviously the under-18s are playing at the same time they are playing now. I didn't see Ryan Kavuma McQueen's name on either this team sheet or the under-18s. He signed his first pro contract yesterday, and he's back fit. There was a little bit of touch and go. I was getting a little bit shaky. Everyone knows that Thomas Skinner meme. I was getting a little bit shaky. I don't get nervous, but I was getting a little bit shaky because I hadn't seen RKM for about 4 or 5 weeks on a team sheet, on social media. It was all very quiet. And then he posted a couple of pictures watching the Arsenal game, and I was distraught, to say the least. But he's back. They announced yesterday that he signed his first pro contract. So congratulations. He will be the second player we are covering in the blueprint. The first player was, of course, Ibrahim Rabaj. Ryan Kavuma McQueen is every bit the player that Rabaj is, I think. Really, really exciting young individual. Obviously just turned 17, which is why he's only just signed his first pro contract. He's made an appearance on the bench. I think it was against Ajax earlier this season. I know, that was under Mhueka. So unfortunately, I don't think there will be as many opportunities for the youth in the second half of this season under Rossignol. But that being said, I expect him to kind of follow the same model, give some players some, minutes, appearances, inclusions on the bench. And look, a first team game tonight would be a great opportunity for Kavuma McQueen again, maybe just to be in the match day squad and just to get kind of a bit of a better feel. That's a great little ball out from Keanu Dye out to Jesse Derry. He's isolated his winger again, comes inside on his right this time, dupes him, tries to go for the shot, deflection, and it's deflected and looped up into the air. It looks like it's come down for Tampa. Cardoso, my bad. Leo Cardoso. I wonder where... Oh, that's good as well. Justin Osagie. So Ampa's on the bench along with Freddie Bernal, Sam Raksaki, Justin Osagie and Dujuan Richards. Very strong. I wonder how the under-18s are getting on. Look, it says on FootMob 0-0. Let's have a quick look. I wonder if I can watch that game as well. Double bubble. Double match reaction. Double match watch-along even. Oh, this fucking laptop, man. Oh, Antwi gets the cross in and it's taken off Mhueka's toes. And I don't know what he's doing because it looks like a dive. Commentators saying there was a touch on him. What's going on? Right, let's have a quick look on the under-18s. Hang on, what do you mean Freddie Bernal is starting for the under-18s? It just said he was on the bench for the under-21s. Freddie Bernal, Riley Ebo, Jacob Hall, Charlie Holland, Dante Waite, Calvin Diakite, Sol Gordon, Reggie Watson, Jashade Greenwood, Kobe Barber, Matisse Boué, with Louis Richards, Isaac Collinson, Ibrahim Rabaj, Andrew Penny, and Heze Grimoire on the bench. Grimoire, sorry, should I say. Corner comes in, and it's a scrap. Keeper comes for it, but doesn't get it. Back out to Derry, the corner taker, who goes on the outside on his right again and wins another corner. But yeah, I'll be interested, and maybe we'll discuss it a bit more at halftime or in a different video. But yeah, I'm curious to hear everybody else's kind of initial thoughts on Rosinha. And I know it will completely change, and nobody will have a good idea of him as a manager of Chelsea until we get a couple of results under our belt. But I do think I've seen more negativity around this manager and this appointment than anybody else. And I think we need to look. There are obviously, it's a tumultuous time in the club's history, and you know, a lot of the problems stem from the ownership and are serious problems. But in terms of, you know, Liam Rosinha, he's now our manager. Like it or not, he is our manager. He is employed. We cannot do anything about it. And I don't know. I think out of all the managers that we could possibly have got, I'm just glad that we've got one that knows what it takes to play with a young team and that does play and like to play fairly exciting, like he says, front foot, aggressive, attacking football. I think there are far worse options that we could have gone. And while I was never Mhueka out, and I think he was unfairly done, superb save from Max Merrick there. It wasn't the most powerful shot the Crystal Palace play out with his left foot, but it was bending. It was going into the far corner. And he has Superman dived, all one-handed. Very, very good save from Max Merrick there. Busiest either of the goalkeepers has had to be. I'll tell you what as well, I'm not sure why Volendam weren't using Keanu Dyer. This kid is unreal. He's come straight back into the team and he's popping them between two midfielders. He's pirouetting in really tight space. What a ball! Jesse Derry with a superb ball over the top. Both of the Crystal Palace defenders misjudged it. They both went forward and it dropped over their head and set up really nicely for Mhueka. But he just volleyed it wide. I'll be ruining that as a mischance already. They're really struggling with these cameras. They've shown the same replay of Mhueka putting his thumb up 4 times now. Palace player down, so there is a slight break in play. So, right, I'll tell you what, a quarter of an hour gone, we got a break in play. Somebody talk to me about this ownership situation. So, I obviously mentioned it briefly before the video. I'm a little bit confused as to how, and there is no other way to put it, a coup has been staged in our club. We have been taken over from the inside, and I don't quite understand how. But Joe Shields, who everybody seemed to think was the best thing since sliced bread when he managed to get that Cole Palmer deal over the table, and we were linked with all these other City players and Romeo Lavia, and I think after the Lavia one, it was like, okay, well, we've taken, you know, the best of what we could get. Fantastic. Why now are we continually going back in for players like Liam Delap, etc., etc.? Why are we continually hiring the same players and coaches that we've worked with previously? Look, I'm all for people working with their friends and, you know, having a good working environment, a fun working environment and all that jazz. In all seriousness, I think the fact that Hassan Suleiman has not been promoted or has been sent out to the loan group, and now there are other people. Harry Hudson has been promoted over him. You know, the assistant coach from the under-18s has been promoted to the under-21s rather than the under-18 coach. Callum McFarlane. Look, he did a great job against City. And I think I can't believe there are people that got carried away and were, Callum McFarlane, there was one, and I'm not going to name names, but I saw somebody say, Callum McFarlane's up with Bruno Salter, and it was tongue in cheek, of course, but it was, legend, one of my favourite interim managers. He played 2 games. He got 1 point out of 2 games, won one, lost, drew one, lost one. The under-21s have been, I think, and this is tough to say with the first team, I think the under-21s have been even more inconsistent this season than the first team, and I don't think they've been particularly good. I think the under-19s, everyone will say, I'm unbeaten in the UEFA Youth League. Different team. Under-19, that team is. That is a very, very different. And yes, certain players do play in all the age groups, but it is a very different mix and match. Oh, come on. Chelsea under-18s have gone 1-0 up. Who scored? Get on the boys. Well done. The ball is still out of play here, by the way. But yeah, I just think of all the... I appreciate what Callum McFarlane did, and I think at the end of the day, he will be a very, very, solid manager, and to be part of the backroom staff in the first team, fair enough. It's not that big of an ask, and maybe we are treating it or seeing it as a promotion when it is not really so. He's gone from a manager role to a backroom staff role, so maybe that one, I can take that. I can take that one standing up. The whole promoting people that have only been in the club 6 months. And again, this goes for Callum McFarlane. He's only been at the clubs for 6 months. He was at Southampton. And then he joined the club at the start of the year. He's only, actually, I'm lying, not even at 6 months. 4 months, he's been manager of the under-21 side. And I think that Fulham game, I'm in split minds, because I will say, I think that Fulham game was one of the most problematic, if not the most problematic performances for the first team this season, or under Clearlake. Not necessarily the worst performance, but the most problematic in terms of the substitutes that were made, the patterns of play. How many times were people moaning about Enzo Mhueka making certain subs, choosing certain players? Enzo Mhueka went, and the same players were being picked, i.e. Tosin Adarabioyo over Fofana. Reece James was rested. I think Pedro Neto was played over Esteval. I think there are certain players and definitely certain instructions that are being given to the manager from the backroom staff. I think while in that vein, you can say that it wasn't really Callum McFarlane's Chelsea that played those 2 games or lost those 2 games. It was, Mhueka and Eghbali and Clearlake and Coes. Callum McFarlane would have had a very little influence on that. But that being said, I think he's not done enough. I think the one thing that I was impressed with was the shape change, where we were sitting with kind of the box 4 in midfield in the second half against City. But, I think the players have good enough quality to go up against City. I think the loss against Fulham speaks way more volumes than the draw against Man City, for me personally. But I don't want to dwell too much on the negatives. I just do feel like there is a coup d'etat going on in the club at the moment, and the best way, I often see there's people in the comments of this live stream, there's people who've been commenting on my videos saying, why are you going to games then? If you're Chelsea, if you're Clearlake out, why are you supporting them? Brother, I will support Chelsea to the day I die. There will never be a day where I do not support Chelsea. 24/7, 365, until my last breath is drawn. I do not support Clearlake and Co. And it is very, very difficult. In my 28 years of being on this earth, it has just become more and more difficult to get tickets to Chelsea. It was easier to get tickets for me as a 6-7-year-old as it was. It was easier to back then than it is now to get a ticket. If I'm lucky, I can get to 5 home games a season. Not Premier League, there'll be cup games. If I'm lucky, I get to 1-2 Premier League games a season. So I'm very rarely going to turn the opportunity to go and see Chelsea down. I'm very rarely going to turn those tickets down, if ever. And the thing that people don't understand is it's not about one individual doing it. A walkout is never going to work. A walkout in principle is a great idea. At the end of the day, you ain't going to find 40,000 people willing to forsake that £60. Just not going to happen. People will buy the tickets and then they will sell them. People just cannot, 40,000 people cannot stomach a £60 loss. And I completely understand that. Completely understand it. The other thing is, I firmly believe we don't have 40,000 principled, strong-moraled, strong-willed match-going fans. I think there's probably a few thousand at best that know and understand the DNA of this club. And I think you just get stadiums full of part-timers and tourists. Like, people say, oh, why don't you protest? We do. Chelsea fans do. And that is why the Stamford Bridge atmosphere is so poor. That is why there are so many tourists, part-timers, people that aren't interested in football at the game. Why there is so much hospitality. You wonder why they have to sell this many tickets, 10,000 hospitality tickets per game. It's because there aren't that many Chelsea fans that want to go. It's people that want to go for corporate and, because they're over in London on holiday. And that is what the club will pander to. You see so many times, the club will roll out the red carpet from a tourist coming from America for their first game. But somebody that travels up and down the country, nights, weekdays, misses work, buses, trains, planes, the club does not care. It's all about optics. And I think people that are saying, well, stop going to games, stop buying tickets, you're very short-sighted. It's the definition of cutting your nose off to spite your face. I think the best thing that we can do as fans is do what we did against Fulham. Be vocal. I say we. I obviously wasn't there. But do what the away fans did against Fulham. One of the best showings I've seen all season in the last couple of seasons from Chelsea fans. Very vocal. Very direct. No messing about. Just cut through the noise. You could hear it through the TV. The owners could undoubtedly hear it. There is no escaping the noise that these Chelsea fans are making. And with continued, noise on social media and protests, the game tonight, more flags, more banners. And obviously the protest against Brentford, there'll be more flags and banners against the home game against Arsenal, I imagine, which I am going to, so I will be a part of that. But I think it is all about creating as much noise as possible. And I did say this kind of in my short. There are only two real solutions. There are only two real situations in which this works out for Chelsea. A, they decide to cut their losses and walk away with their tail between their legs and sell the club for a loss, which I think is nigh on impossible, very, very unlikely. And the other thing, which unfortunately is even less likely, is they change every single thing, every single fundamental aspect of their business model, what they've been doing for 3 years. If they just turn around and completely do a U-turn on it, then this ownership group might work. But aside from those two extremely unlikely outcomes, there is no way in which Chelsea succeed under this Clear Lake regime. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the chat, because I've been talking about that for about 5 minutes now, way too long. I did do a video as well on Clear Lake out and what needs to happen for Chelsea. So if you want to hear me go on about it in a little bit more length, or a little bit more detail, should I say, then go and watch the most recent video on our channel. But getting back into it, because you came here for a watch along, not to talk about Clear Lake. 26 minutes gone now. Not too much has happened. Chelsea kind of just been passing the ball around on the back. Max Merrick's had a fair few touches. Every time we kind of get the ball up to Cardoso and Derry, they look to be pushed back inside. They were going wide early doors. Genesis Antwi now the one making that wide run. He might be offside if he touches that. No, apparently not. Okay, he's recycled it to Cardoso. Cardoso and Derry were getting really high up and really wide early on, but now they look like they're both kind of trying to come inside, and it is making it a little bit more congested in there. Palace do have, though, 8 men behind the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Palace have 10 men behind the ball. I lied. I think there's one man on the halfway line. Or not even. There might be 11 men behind the ball. Chelsea really struggling to just kind of pop it through. I think Ollie Harrison, Reggie Walsh kind of working it really nicely for 2-3 passes, but not really making any ground. They are just struggling to open that defence up to get that final little splitting pass. Landon Emanalo just tried to be a bit too clever there. Luckily managed to retain the ball. Shifted over to the other side, and Cardoso. Ooh, Palace nearly managed to break there. And they are just sitting 11 men behind the ball. Chelsea look to attack down the left now with Jesse Derry, who goes for the 1-2 with Reggie Walsh. Can he find him on the return? I'll tell you what, it was a really nice little give and go, but unfortunately he didn't get it back from Reggie Walsh. Just hit the leg of the Crystal Palace defender. Good covering from Caden Wilson there. They're both battling. I think it's no foul. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Caden Wilson looks like he might have stepped on his hand or stepped on his toe or something. But Keanu Dyer's not going to put the ball out. He's going along to Jesse Derry. That's a lovely switcher play. Keanu Dyer has looked very, very good. I didn't watch the... Jesse Derry tries a flip-flap through 2 players, beats the first, doesn't beat the second. Oh my God! Reggie Walsh just went in flying with a 2-footed challenge, and the ref's given him the benefit of the doubt and the advantage. Oh, this guy's still down, this Crystal Palace player. He must actually be injured. I thought Caden Wilson did very well. But yeah, Chelsea escaped that one. It was a quick counter-attack from Palace, but just 2 players forward. I need the heating on. It's fucking freezing. Bring me a higher love. Ooh. Bring me a higher. But listening to a lot of old school, Steve Winwood, Toto, bangers. Bit of Niles Bite, bit of George Michael, bit of proper music. Go on, set it back. Shims up all on his own, and he could have just set it back there for Reggie Walsh. I don't know why he's gone for the shot. I mean, I can understand why he wants to have a go. He's well placed. It's a good shot. It's on his right side. But the opportunity was there to just, touch it back for Reggie Walsh early, and he could have just run onto it and side-footed it home. Overcomplicating it unnecessarily there, Chelsea. 30 minutes gone. Still 1-1 and still 0-0. The under-18s also in action. Unfortunately, that game was due to be played yesterday at 1 o'clock, but was postponed or rescheduled to today due to adverse weather conditions. Unfortunately, unable to watch 2 games at once. I don't actually think they're doing a live stream of the under-18s, but I wonder who scored. They did go 1-0 up about 15 minutes ago. Why would you do that, you twat? There's advertising boards right next to the pitch, and the ball keeps bouncing back off them. Why the hell is this happening? Oh, come on, man. Oh, this is taking the piss. What do you mean 4G's not working? Oh, great. 1-1. Jashade Greenwood scored for Chelsea 10 minutes ago, assisted by Matisse Eboué. And then Birmingham City have just equalised. Why is my phone not working with 5G? I don't know. Anyway, Crystal Palace come forward again. The ball goes over. Oh, piss off. Buzz off, Ghost. Bring me a higher love. Ball with Max Merrick now. Chelsea not in a rush at all. Looking very content just to sit on the ball at the back. Palace not looking to press at all. And it seems like whose will break first. Chelsea just kind of waiting, still trying to bait them in, playing patiently at the back. What a ball and what a touch. Go on, Jen. Cut it back, cut it back, cut it back. Genesis Antwi with a superb run on the right. Max Merrick found him. It's an unlucky ball from Leo Cardoso. Max Merrick found him, and it was an excellent touch. Genesis Antwi cut back in. Defender made the defender stop back in his tracks. Defender then had to come back in, and Genesis Antwi just shifted his body and went out on the right, and then cut it back for Cardoso to put the ball in. Genesis Antwi, really, really good player. I think he is someone that I hesitate to use this phrase, primed and ready. But I think Genesis Antwi could do a job in the first team. I think while, there's the obvious physical development, or, that there would be a little bit of a gap in terms of the physical development. It's another great ball. Can Jesse Derry reach it? He can. Comes back on his right and gets the ball in. Now that's a brilliant ball, and Shin Mhueka gets his head to it, but it goes wide again. I tell you what, that's the second time, or maybe even third time in this first 35 minutes that Jesse Derry has put an absolute peach of a cross into Shin Mhueka, literally on a sixpence where he would have wanted it. But Shin Mhueka just unable to hit the target again. But yeah, on Genesis Antwi. So yeah, I think obviously in terms of physical development, he's only 19, I think he is, maybe 20. So I think, got to be managed, not someone that you can, start playing every single game. But I think I don't want to say regular for the Sweden under-21s now, but he's played a fair few games for the Sweden under-21s. Appeared for Chelsea's first team last year under Enzo Maresca, so has got that kind of match day squad feeling. And I think he, much like Landon Emanalo, is a player that we should be looking at to kind of fill in when needed, for the fullbacks. I think asking Malo Gusto to continually play left, asking Malo Gusto, Trev Chalobah and Josh Achimpong to continually play more often than not left back, but left back and right back, when we've got players that are to an extent primed and ready to play, like Landon Emanalo, Genesis Antwi, I do think it's got to be, a matter of time. And which is why kind of, I suppose, particularly in the congested fixture list over Christmas, I am a little bit surprised that neither of them have featured as of yet, and neither of them look like they're going to feature tonight. Especially, no Cucurella. It's the perfect opportunity to give one of these youngsters a game. But instead, we are going to, unless obviously Jorel Hato, who looked good at left back when he came on, or looked all right, should we say, when he came on against Fulham. He's looked a little bit shakier whenever he's played and left centre-back or in centre-back, but he looked a lot more comfortable at left-back. So I assume it's going to be Jorel Hato starting tonight, and then Cucurella back in the squad against Arsenal. But yeah, there aren't that many opportunities that you can get to play youngsters. Obviously Lincoln was one. But apart from that, I think you're going to get very few opportunities now, particularly in the second half of the season. You know, maybe, again, I'd say maybe Paphos, but both of those Champions League games are must win now. If Chelsea don't win both of those games, they're in trouble. Because, I mean, we need to win both games if we want to qualify. If we don't win both games, we've still got a chance of going into the playoffs, but it could be incredibly embarrassing if we were to lose against Paphos. Yeah, that would be incredibly worrying and embarrassing, really. Chelsea moving the ball, moving the way up through the pitch again. And Keanu Dyer, another nice sweeping ball, but unfortunately cut out that time. But he has his range of passing has been superb in this first half. Really, really good to have him back. Head that back, Jen. Free kick to Palace inside their half. Went long and back immediately with the Chelsea defence. Have we kept it on? No. So throw in there. Crystal Palace throwing back in their half. Jesse Derry. Oh, Jesse Derry and Mhueka pressing like a pair of madmen. Pressing like they've got tenure at Shutter Island. Absolute psychopaths. I'm freezing. "39 minutes gone, so just over 5 minutes until half time. Fairly uneventful first half, as it were. I was expecting a little bit of a little bit more impetus, I think, from Chelsea going forward, particularly after the Benfica game. I think they would have wanted both the manager and players would have wanted a reaction. Fans certainly want a reaction. It's a good idea of a long ball over the top from Wilson, but just a little bit too long, so it runs through to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Now they look to build out from the back, but it doesn't last very long. One pass, and it is back with Tayo Subaloy. Gives it to Merrick, and then in turn to Emanalo, but Reggie Walsh, does he lose it there? Oh no, fair tackle. Chelsea throw him. Did look like he was reaching. I wonder if JT is there today. Reggie Walsh pushes the ball outside for Jesse Derry on the left as Chelsea come forward again. He goes on his left foot. He's shut out again by two players, and it goes for a goal kick. He does appeal for a corner, but the ref has given a goal kick. Good defending from Palace. I think he's definitely been the brightest going forward so far, Derry. Definitely the best end product as well going forward. Like I said earlier, some lovely balls into Mhueka. At least two that have been on a sixpence, maybe three, but at least two that have been perfect. Crystal Palace goal kick now. 42 minutes gone, so just under 5 left. Can't imagine there will be very much, if any, added. There will be, won't there? Because we managed to speak about Rosinha and Clearlake for about 5 minutes while that Palace player was down. Emanalo and Derry combining nicely on that left side. Working the ball across now to Genesis Hansway. This is something that we do like to do throughout the age groups. I know fans of the first team moan about it quite a lot, but this going side to side, trying to just be patient, trying to work the angle. That's a lovely ball over the top from Toyo Subaloy. Has Genesis Antwi stayed on side? The flag does not go up. Gets a great ball in with his right foot as well. Reggie Walsh looks to set it back. Just a little bit of miscommunication there between Walsh and Harrison on the edge of the box. Because if Reggie Walsh had set that, that would have been perfectly waited for Harrison to hit it. But Walsh just got in his way. I think there is a Palace player down, but oh no, he's back up now. Chelsea still moving the ball from left to right now, or from right, to left. And Jesse Derry looks to square up his man again, but goes to Ollie Harrison instead. Toyo Subaloy looks inside to Dyer. Back to Wilson. Cardoso comes back inside, looking to create a bit of space outside, but then Keanu Dyer switches the ball around and goes to Reggie Walsh on the left. Chelsea just keeping possession inside Crystal Palace's half, waiting really for an opening. Genesis Antwi now on the right, but they go back to Caden Wilson, back to Reggie Walsh. Tries to squeeze it through to Cardoso, but it is cut out by the Crystal Palace midfielder. And he brings it out now, and they could counter. They might have 3-on-3. They do have 3-on-3. Chelsea managing to get numbers back, but got to be careful. Well played there from Caden Wilson, just getting a toe in to Reggie Walsh, who now looks to counter-attack, and this might be Chelsea's best chance of getting a goal, because there is a lot more space now, and Crystal Palace are tending to get players back very, very quickly. Derry into Shim's feet. Shim gives it back to Harrison, who works it back out to Derry on the left. And now, unfortunately, Chelsea have lost that advantage, and Crystal Palace are back in. And they do lose the ball, and there is a little bit of a scrap, but Mhueka manages to run through and gets his shot off, but it is blocked just on the edge of the box. Keanu Dyer with a lovely little nonchalant shoulder there to Reggie Walsh. That was superb bit of skill. But Crystal Palace win the free kick. It has been getting a little bit scrappy last couple of minutes, and we are now into the 45th, so I'm not sure how much added time there will be, or if they will tell us. Get the volume up a little bit. Yeah, what do you mean there's been an equaliser? There was an equaliser about 20 minutes ago, mate. Thanks, Chelsea commentators. It's just like just like Wednesday when I travelled 2 hours down to Kings Meadow to watch the under-21s, and I turned up to the stadium and they were like, "Oh, you here for the game?" Yeah, no, it's been postponed, mate. It would have been nice to know ahead of time. Would have been nice. Felt like a right dick asking for them to refund my £1 booking fee back as well. But it was a matter of principle. I was like, you know what? You can refund my train as well. They didn't, but actually, I need to check that. I think I did get one of my trains refunded. I need to check that. Chelsea just passing the ball just inside Crystal Palace's box, but not really doing anything, not really looking to press. Famous last words, Landon Manalo looks for the give and go with Jesse Derry, then looks for the give and go with Mhueka, but neither of them get the go. Harrison, go on, give it, have a go. Oh, there's a bit of space there for Wilson to step into, but unable. And then Cardoso, wins the free kick. Didn't look like he was going to get a free kick initially, but the Crystal Palace man was very, very close to him, and I think he just nibbled on his heels. So a dangerous free kick for Chelsea to end the half. Very, very dangerous position. And Jesse Derry saunters over and takes control of the ball very early on. No angle to shoot. He is about 30 odds out, but he's to the right side, so there's definitely no shot coming in. Well, I say that. He hasn't lined up for a shot, but it would certainly be a pleasant surprise. Oh, there you go. Look, the under-18s are coming in for half time. Right. Last act, maybe the first half. Jesse Derry with a dangerous free kick on this right-hand side. Does float it in. It's a lovely ball. What a save. What a save. Oh, that was the one. I told you, Jesse Derry's put 2 on a sixpence for Mhueka in this first half. And that was the best chance. That was a phenomenal save. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. That would have been the perfect way for the half to end. And that is that. First half finished. Half time, Chelsea 0. Crystal Palace 0. We will be back in 15 minutes. Best chance of the half, just there, falling to Mhueka. Keanu Dyer has looked very impressive on the ball, very tidy. Jesse Derry's looked very dangerous as well. Been very impressed with Genesis Antwi and also Lamon Landon Emanalo at the back. Reggie Walsh tidy in the middle. But yeah, still 0-0. Still searching for that first goal. We will be back in 15 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We're back. We're back. We're back. Not long to go. Second half coming up. But yeah, fairly, like I said, uneventful first half as is. The under-18s also going in a half-time level. 1-1 in there. Obviously 0-0 here. No goals to speak of. But yeah. Interesting as well. What do we think? Right, let's get some predictions, early doors predictions ahead of the Charlton game later. Oh, that's where that is. Been looking for that SD card for days. Yeah, looks like we're going to go strong. Very strong lineup for the first team. The only player who I think is not involved in the under 21s and under 18s that I expected to. Actually, there's a couple. Thinking about it. So there's obviously Ryan Kavuma McQueen. But the other one who I've just thought, Harrison Murray Campbell. I don't think I've seen his name on either of the team sheets, and I'm not sure if he's injured or not, but it would be good to see him get another involvement in the first team match day squad. Oh, that's what I'm meant to do. Let's go and get some food. Ooh. Hank Marvin, mate. Oh, but yeah, big day of football. Who else is playing today? I was going to try and do triple whammy. I was going to try and do this game, and then Boreham Wood are playing at 3:00. So I was going to try and get down and watch them and watch Ted Curd in action. I think they're playing Tamworth or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of FA Cup action. Oh, the Palace went out. Not Palace, Forest went out last night, didn't they? Wrexham. Big upset. We do like a cup upset. But yeah, get your predictions in the chat. Obviously, like I said, it is a live episode, so get involved in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you watching the under 21s? What do you think of the game so far? What are your thoughts on the whole Clear Lake circus, the whole manager roundabout this last week or so? Enzo Maresca sacked, Liam Rossini hired, big shape up internally for Chelsea. What do you think of the current hierarchy, the current ownership, the current model? Is it got to a point, are we bust? Have we just got to accept now that this model isn't working? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Let me know what you think in the comments. And also get your predictions in, get your score predictions in, not just for this game, but also for the Charlton game tonight. I did put something on my story earlier, but that's on the Instagram. If you want to get involved in the live, all you have to do is comment here. But the players are back out on the pitch in both games. The under-18 game has got underway. They are a couple of minutes ahead of us, but we are not far off now. Looks like a sub for Crystal Palace at the start of the half. First team player who's just come back from a nasty ACL injury, so he was never probably going to be down to play the whole 90 as they manage his minutes from that long-term injury. I didn't realise they've had a first team player on, Riyadh, who's just come back from an ACL injury, so he played his first 45. Always good to see a player coming back from an ACL injury, no matter who they play for. Very, very tough injury, as we all know. But Chelsea will be getting the second half underway very, very shortly. Kicking from, not that it matters to you guys, kicking from right to left. Still 0-0, 45 minutes for Chelsea to get their first win under Harry Hudson. And we are underway. Come on to Chelsea. And of course, guys, I appreciate everybody that's watching it with me, that's watching this watch along. But if you do want to watch it, it is free to watch. The under-21s game is available and being streamed live and free on both the Chelsea app, website, and YouTube, Chelsea Football Club YouTube channel, which is where we're watching it. So if you want to watch the game alongside us, get my commentary on as well as watching the game, and then you can, give me your 2 cents on things as and when they're happening. That's the end goal, I think, for these videos. No point in me doing any sort of watch along for the first team because I'm not, I'm watching the first team. Yeah, I want to bring eyes. The first team doesn't need more eyes. The academy needs more eyes. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole reason do these videos, is with the purpose of promoting and, at the end of the day, protecting, but promoting some of the brightest young talents, not just at Chelsea Football Club, some of the brightest young talents in the footballing world. Chelsea look like they've set up exactly the same, or virtually exactly the same as the first half. Keanu Dyer getting on the ball quite a lot already in the second half. Here he is again, turning it into Ollie Harrison very nicely. He's such a tidy player. I love, and I like using that as particularly for midfielders. Neat and tidy. Everything you see him do is just concise. It's a well hit pass. It's not $1 million ball. He is able to play the $1 million ball, but it's not about, trying to play the most difficult pass and trying to thread the needle every single time. It's, do you see someone to feet? Can we keep the ball? Can we progress up the pitch? Yep, there you go. Bish, bash, bosh. Pop it to me, pop it back. Jesse Derry working well on his left side there. And that's another thing I really like about Jesse Derry. And another reason why I think he should be not far off a call up to the first team is he's so good with both feet. And he's and Ryan Kavuma McQueen, another one that, can play on this left side and use both feet. But Jesse Derry, as I think he's shown today, his quality of cross with both feet, his quality of delivery is really, really solid. He's able to, get to the byline and put it in low, or clip it back with his left foot, or he's able to, come inside, whip it in with his right, which is really, really dangerous. Chelsea on the back foot now as Crystal Palace look to come forward. Their first attack of the second half, but it's cut out in the middle by Ollie Harrison. Failed to find a Crystal Palace player. And Keanu Dyer with another lovely little neat and tidy turn. Just one touch. And then again there, just a touch into space. I think his spatial awareness is superb. I think it's particularly important to, have a very good first touch and to be able to play one-touch football when you are a centre midfielder. The most congested, irrefutably, the most congested part of a pitch. So you have to be good under pressure. You've got to have a good touch, and you've got to be able to play at first touch as well. And Keanu Dyer, I think, has a really, really good awareness of when he needs to play at first time, when he needs to take a touch. I think he's a really, really good player. And it's a real shame that he didn't get more minutes and wasn't able to have kind of a fruitful season at Volendam, because he is ready to kind of make that step up. But kind of, as I said, with Genesis Antwi, in the first half, it's more with Keanu Dyer about the physical development side of things. He's a very, very small, very, very slight individual. And you can imagine first team football, he's going to get, that's a foul throw. It's a foul throw. And Crystal Palace are moaning about it, and rightfully so. That's right in front of their bench that Keanu Dyer's just done a foul throw. But yeah, I think another one that the quality, all there, he'd be able to do a job for the majority of teams, I think, in League One Championship. But it's just about that frame, and can we bulk him up? Reggie Walsh now driving forward. Derry trying to return the favour. And I'll tell you what, it was a lovely idea with the outside of his right foot, just a little bit too much on it for Reggie Walsh. Had it been a quicker player, I think he may have got on the end of it, but as it were, good marking by Subaloy, but just a little bit too aggressive to step in there. Just getting a talking to here, Tyre Subaloy, and I'm not sure whether something was said after the challenge or whether something happened off the ball, because it didn't look like it warranted a talking to. Just having a bit of a word with a couple of players on the pitch on both sides is Matt Scholes. Nothing doing, no yellow cards handed out, but yeah. Interesting talking to Subaloy and his opposite number, and a couple of other Crystal Palace players as well. Yep. Cardoso wins a free kick just inside the Crystal Palace half as he's pulled back. Under 18s, 53 minutes played, still 1-1. Under 21s, a couple of minutes behind, 51 and a half minutes played. Still 0-0 here. That's a lovely, again, really nice work by Emanalo and Derry on that left-hand side. The touch from Emanalo was just a little bit heavy, but Derry's done really well to follow him up, to back him up there. And when the defender managed to get the better of Emanalo, he turned straight out into Derry, who came back at him and won a corner. So can Chelsea capitalise on the increase in dominance as we got closer and closer in the first half? But that Mhueka chance was probably the best Chelsea had. Harrison with a ball into the middle. Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be a foul. The keeper got underneath it, and I don't know what happened, but it's been blown as a free kick. I've never understood that. I always took corners or set pieces as a young'un, and I've never ever understood putting it anywhere near the keeper. In between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Go on! Oh, working it well, but not well enough. Sorry, that was reductionist. Working it well, but Crystal Palace did just enough to get bodies back. It was messy. I think it was Mhueka again. I think it was Cardoso that worked it into him. Mhueka that slid in on it, but just about managed to get it away the Palace defence. Unlucky from Reggie, tried to spin his man, but just got caught under his feet, and Crystal Palace now looking to come forward on the counter. I think it's the sub now who, or maybe not the sub, but he does get the better of Caden Wilson, and he manages to get the ball in the box as well. Crystal Palace has scored. The winger did very, very well. I think Caden Wilson would be disappointed. I think he's got to be stronger there. He kind of just half-arsed it a little bit. Max Merrick missed it, and it just bounced off Harrison. into the path of the striker. Very industrious work from Crystal Palace, but Chelsea behind 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Did not see that coming, I'll be honest. Against the run of play, indeed. But what did I say before the game? Under 21s have not been particularly consistent this year. Not sure why Merrick decided to come for it there. Not sure why Caden Wilson was so half-arsed in defence. That's a really, really crappy goal to concede that. And the stream's just cut out. I mean, at least, you know what? At least it's not just me that has these live issues. Maybe that's why I need a live view streamer. The stream has well and truly gone. 56 minutes played, and we are now... We don't even have commentary anymore. Staring at a blank screen. If anyone wants a chin wag, now's the time. I believe the under 18s are still 1-1. Oh. This is the first time since I can remember I've got an iPhone and it hasn't got a case or a screen protector or a camera protector. And I am just constantly shitting bricks. I've never felt less secure with anything in my life. I need to go down and get a fucking case on this. Actually, pretty sure I ordered one. Can't have nice things. Wah. You have to turn 5G on. What is that mess? Right, they have fucked us here. I can't go to the game. I can't watch the game on YouTube. This club, man. This goddamn club. Wait, hold on. Someone's just said in the chat, Crystal Palace. Oh, Leo Cardoso just scored. What the fuck is going on? Apparently Palace lost. Oh, what the fuck is going on? All right, you can watch on the app.
What is important is that Chelsea have
and I've licked. It's just come back.
He's been missing from the under-21s for
Assisted by Reggie Walsh, Leo Cardoso scores. Great, thanks. All right, we're back on, boys. I'm glad that we missed the 2 minutes that were important. But fuck it. That's all that matters. Stream's back on. Right. Chelsea won. Crystal Palace won. Leo Cardoso assisted by Reggie Walsh. And no doubt we will hopefully see a replay of that soon. Crystal Palace coming forward again. 62 minutes on the clock. The Chelsea under-18s are also at 1-1 with 65 minutes on the clock. Crystal Palace putting out play. Looks like they've made a couple of other subs as well. I'll tell you what, Chelsea need to be careful because that one I think they would have got away with, but I've seen at least 3 foul throws. Not putting the ball behind their head, not throwing it forward. These Chelsea players need to be careful, man. Because if you're 19, 20 years old and you're still taking foul throws, I think it's the most embarrassing thing when it happens in a first team game. It's equally as embarrassing to be doing it here. Genesis Antwi battling to get the cross in, and it is blocked by a Crystal Palace defender, but he manages to get a corner out of it. Can Chelsea turn it around swiftly? 1-1. Jesse Derry now been told to wait as they are making a sub. Who is it, Crystal Palace? No, it's Chelsea, and it is Leo Cardoso. The goal scorer. It looks like there might be 2 coming on. Mhueka as well. Ato Ampa on for Leo Cardoso. And then Keanu Dyer, the second player to come off. Keanu Dyer, I think, has been superb today. Sam Raksaki. Sam Raksaki. Another player that we haven't really seen too much of this season after he kind of made his breakthrough last year. He got a couple of appearances under the first team as well. Looked fairly solid in the Conference League, but hasn't really kicked on since then. Another good ball from Derry into the right place. Raksaki with a bit of a loose first touch, but he managed to recover it and get it back out to Emanalo, who puts it back into Derry, who puts a wonderful ball in. And Mhueka's just tried to set it back for Reggie Walsh, but it's just a little bit lazy, and that's a Chelsea throw-in. Really, really well played there from, I think it was Caden Wilson. It was. Move away. You're going to give him a foul throw. Oh, go on. Chelsea under 18s, 2-1. Come on, lads. I asked today how many of the three we're going to win. Can we win all three? What a save. Another superb ball from Atto Ampa, and this time it's Jesse Derry getting on the end of it. A brilliant ball. Atto Ampa's got him for pace every single time. Atto Ampa's absolutely rapid. It's a brilliant left-footed ball in, and Jesse Derry with a well-placed header. Well-timed, well-placed, good power. But good save for the keeper as well. Now he floats another corner in. Caden Wilson wins the first ball. It's hoofed into the air by the Crystal Palace defender. They look to counter, but Genesis Antwi manages to get it away first for a Crystal Palace throw-in. Chelsea just turning up the heat a little bit ever since the stream's been put back on. Maybe since that Cardoso goal. Maybe there was a little bit of impetus before that, I don't know. But they have really turned it up with intent. Let's see who scored for the under-18s. Oh, shock, horror. Reggie Watson. What a bloke. Can't stop scoring.
Who's had won the last two at home in Premier League 2. Arsenal and Reading both defeated. Of course, Reading being the last time they actually played a Premier League 2 game back all the way on the 8th of November. Crystal Palace's last game was a 2-2 draw versus Stoke City.
Chelsea working it on this left with Atto Ampa again. So yeah, the change, obviously Cardoso coming off for Atto Ampa are well recovered by Raksaki, who's giving it into Mhueka. He looks to shape up and take a shot. He's got two men in front of him and he just can't get the ball off. He manages to get it out to Atto Ampa. He cuts inside again and looks to strike, but it is blocked straight away. Landon Manalo tries to put the first time cross in, but it's headed back out. So that sub, Jesse Derry has now switched over to the right side with Atto Ampa playing on this left side. So interesting to see how Derry gels with Genesis Antwi. Oh, it's, as I've said, that it's absolutely superb. The little... Yes! 2-1, Mhueka. Superb play from Jesse Derry and Genesis Antwi on this right-hand side. Mhueka finally. He's been trying. He's been getting closer and closer all game. Very well played by Jesse Derry. Very well played by Genesis Antwi. I think Reggie Walsh was involved as well. He might even go down as getting the assist after that little touch. But, he will. Fantastic. Recycled out to Sam Raksaki, who did really, really well initially to put the pressure on him and to win the ball back. Just outside the Crystal Palace area, managed to get outside to Genesis Antwi. As soon as I said, will they gel? I saw the run Jesse Derry was making. Genesis Antwi found him. Derry pulled it back. Raksaki won it again. Put it into to Reggie Walsh, who just set it for Shim. Keeper managed to get a hand on it, but not enough. And there it is. The all-important goal for Mhueka takes Chelsea into the lead for the first time today. 2-1 in both the games now, both under-18s and under-21s, leading 2-1. Up to Chelsea, come on. 69 minutes on the clock, 20 minutes to go. No doubt, I would be very, very surprised if there are no more goals in this. Looks like both teams have just been growing into it. Chelsea more so than Crystal Palace, but very, very surprised if there's no more goalmouth activity. Lovely little footwork there from Atto Ampa to say see you later to his other number. And then Raksaki finding the ball finding Genesis Antwi out there on the right. Looks to take on his man again and get a good cross in. But that one was won by a Crystal Palace defender. In the second ball there, Wilson. Well played. Box him in. Box him in. I'll tell you what, it's the second time Caden Wilson's lost out due to just lack of strength, really. Second time he's lost a big 50-50. And I mean, luckily this one was deep inside the Crystal Palace half, not like the one that led to a Crystal Palace goal. But he just doesn't look quite at the races today. And he's a very, very good, strong, aggressive defender. So I don't really know what's happening. Harrison into Derry. Tell you what. Snapshot there from Jesse Derry. Ball into him inside the box from Ollie Harrison, and he kind of just flicked it up with his left on the turn and then took it on the volley on the right. It was bobbling. Wasn't the cleanest connection, but it was a good little snapshot, and Chelsea do have a corner out of it. It was either a defender or the keeper got a touch to it. Chelsea worked the corner short or worked the 1-2. Ollie Harrison tries to get it back in, but no, Crystal Palace may be able to counter now. Luckily for Chelsea, Sam Raksaki with fresh legs was back. 71 minutes gone now, so less than 20 remaining. Just about in the ascendancy. Chelsea have only just taken the lead. Walsh, lovely little ball. And Ampa's just missed. Ampa's been superb. He's looked like a real injection of energy and pace on this left hand side. And it's crazy to say that he's made such an impact because he came on for the player that scored. But he's come on and I think one thing that I've said about Ampa in the past is I think he looks particularly quick because he is very, very small. He's got that very similar to Hazard. He's got that low centre of gravity. I think his explosion of movement, I think he's very, very quick over the first 5 yards to the point where I don't think anybody else in this Chelsea side could keep up with him. Very, very strong runner as well as a very, very quick runner. Great with the ball at his feet. He's good at the whole kind of kick and run dribbling. He's got the pace to do that and to be an exceptionally good kick and run dribbler. But he's also, he's a lot. I think his movement and his balance is a lot better than you would have thought. He's able to, really able to turn on a sixpence. Really, really, like I said, tight, explosive movement. Very exciting player. And I often talk at length about how blessed Chelsea are to have so many quality players in similar positions, stacked positions. You've got Jesse Derry and Cardoso starting today. Cardoso scores, Cardoso comes off, Ampa comes on, changes the game virtually immediately. We've got Dujuan Richards, plays for the Jamaica first team, who is, again, a different winger. Very, very big in terms of what I've been saying about Keanu Dyer and Genesis Antwi. He's the opposite. In terms of, physical frame and being physically developed, he's there. He's head and shoulders above the rest. He is a man mountain at 18, 19 years old, whatever he is. But it is his technical aspects aren't as refined and as developed as he is physically. But again, another excellent winger. He's one that I think we'll probably see later, replacing Jesse Derry on the right-hand side. He likes to play on the right, cut in and bend it into that left-hand corner. Very, very good. He's it's another trademark, a player that's got a trademark. Reggie Watson at 16 has his outside-the-box free kicks. Dujuan Richards has his cutting in and scoring with a curling left foot. But I think Chelsea have so much talent going forward, and that's just looking at the under-21s involved today. I mean, you look at Ryan Kavuma-McQueen not involved. 17 years old, just signed his first pro contract. Ibrahim Rabaj just turned 17 years old. Fingers crossed he will likely be signing his first pro contract very, very soon. It's yet to be announced, but I can't imagine it's far off the works. I think, yeah, the plethora, the smorgasbord of options that Chelsea have at this level is one of the main reasons why I was so against the signing of Garnacho, and to an extent Gittins as well. I thought, bringing Estevao in when you already had Noni Madueke and Pedro Neto, and then potentially being able to play some of these youngsters as well, Derry, Richards, Kavuma McQueen. I think there is cause for concern in terms of the ownership model maybe not providing the pathway that we hope. I think everybody kind of said that when they first came in, and Enzo Maresca handed more academy debuts than any other Premier League manager. But it remains to be seen whether Rosinha will carry that on. I imagine we discussed kind of the potential lineup tonight earlier on, and I imagine he will go very strong through necessity, or Mhueka nearly just bundling the ball into the path of Jesse Derry, but just muscled out of it by the defender. As we said earlier, I imagine Rosinha will go strong tonight, and strong for the first few games, because Charlton, Arsenal, Brentford, Paphos, all four of those I'd say are must-win games. A couple of losses could finish our season real quick, and then before you know it, we got nothing to play for. We're out of domestic cups. Jesus, very well played there by a Crystal Palace attacker, and Caden Wilson did very, very well there to stand up his man. When I think Subaloy had a little bit of a mistimed challenge. Well, Caden Wilson doesn't. He doesn't need to come on. He's just been pushed. Yeah, the refs making calls that he's not authorised to make. Caden Wilson doesn't need medical treatment, and Max Merrick and Caden Wilson are both saying no, don't come on the pitch, and the referee has made the medical team come on the pitch. And the medical team are now having a go at the ref because they're going to have to bring Caden Wilson off. Anyway, as the ball's out of play, Chelsea players have come over for a little breather and a talking to. 78 minutes on the clock. Still just about with the lead. Chelsea under 18s also leading. Birmingham City 2-1, thanks to goals from Jashade Greenwood and Reggie Watson. This Chelsea under 21 side leading after going down 1-0 against a run of play in the first half. Was it in the first half? I don't think it was the first half. I think we finished the first half 0-0. After going down 1-1, I can't get my words out. After going down 1-0, Leo Cardoso scored the equaliser. I'd love to say it was a great goal, but unfortunately the stream was down, so we didn't see that. But then Chelsea worked themselves back into the lead fairly quickly after that with a Shim Mhueka goal. Shim Mhueka has been hungry for that goal all game, and he's been getting closer and closer. He had our best chance of the first half when Derry swung in a lovely ball, and Shim Mhueka made a really good connection with a header, made the keeper make a really good save. And then managed to go one better and stick the ball in the back of the net after a lovely little give and go from Antwi and Jesse Derry. And then Reggie Walsh claiming his second assist of the day. 2 goals, 2 assists for Reggie Walsh.
Reggie Walsh will get this game back underway.
Ball is now back in play. Chelsea down to 10 for the immediate as Caden Wilson is off.
Not be able to continue. You'd imagine Justin Asagi will be coming on.
Well done there from Tayo Subaloi. And yeah, if I was Palace, I wouldn't be sitting back. I'd be going at them. Not going to get many better opportunities than now, but that advantage is now squandered with Caden Wilson back on the pitch. Crystal Palace win the header, and then Landon Emanalo with an interesting free header goes out for a Crystal Palace throw. As if they've just told us that Reggie Watson scored. Brother, that happened 20 minutes ago. I'm more tapped in than you. Error, come on. Why couldn't you lot do us a big... I mean, from what I haven't even seen the highlights. From what I've seen, you lot got shafted by decisions again against Arsenal. I mean, well, I say that. All I've seen was the Wirtz one, which looked like a... Was it a penalty? I mean, whatever it was a foul. I don't know if it was inside the box, but it looked like it. But yeah, needed the pool to do us a favour. I mean, everyone needed Chelsea to do everyone a favour the other day, and we fucked up by making City drop points. But oh well. Is there no other? Is FA Cup on today? Is there no games on BBC, ITV? I mean, look, I appreciate. I don't want to send you away. I appreciate the support. I also do have a. I was going to say often. We don't often anymore, but I also do have a Liverpool acquaintance friend who does a podcast, and occasionally we do some videos together. Go and check that out. I think he changed it to the Two Reds podcast, but I think that's had a pin in it. So you know what? That shameless promo I just did, ignore it. Appreciate you watching though, mate. Apparently Crystal Palace lost or something. I haven't checked the scores, but obviously Nottingham Forest lost on pens to Wrexham last night. Someone said Crystal Palace were 2-1 down to Macclesfield. You know what? I'll check that now. 2-1 down to Macclesfield, apparently. Everton. Oh, they did lose. Biggest shock in FA Cup history. Macclesfield beat the FA Cup holders Palace. Jesus, 117 sides. Why would you... Wait for this. Miserable old git coming out. It's the FA Cup third round and they've had a pitch invasion. What? Fucking Wolves, 6-1. Jesus. Go on, Wolves. Right, Everton Sunderland's 1-1. Hey, that's an extra time. Watch Everton Sunderland. You can. I'll tell you what, mate. You get that on your phone. You keep me posted on Everton Sunderland, and I'll keep you posted on this game. Oh, shit. Great tackle from Tayo Subaloi, because the Crystal Palace player would have been through there. 6-1 at Wolves. Jorgen Strand Larsen hat-trick, and he's been dog this season. Are Wolves back? Wolves are in great form. Aren't they now unbeaten in 3 or unbeaten in 4? Football's a fucking brilliant game, innit? I was about to say football's a funny old game. Football is the most brilliant of sports. Macclesfield beating Palace. Wolves scoring 6 and going 4 unbeaten. Oh, unlucky there. Really good play from Ato Ampa. Isolated his man really well and tried to flick it back inside. It just didn't have enough on it. But he has been superb this second half. Or ever since he came on, sorry, should I say. I think Harrison's moved the ball really nicely since Keanu Dyers came off. He's kind of taken that role. I mean, I know like for like, Raksaki is kind of more playing in his position, but I think Ollie Harrison's been very tidy on the ball, particularly in the second half. Reggie Walsh as well. Like I said, 2 assists today. Really nice little flick on there from Reggie Walsh to Shin Mhueka to Sam Raksaki, who returns it to Genesis Antwi. What a goal! What a goal. What a goal. Mhueka gets his second goal of the day. What a move. Genesis Antwi with a superb cross. A brilliant move. That was brilliant.
It really was a lovely move. Antwi's ball in. The perfect ball in for any striker. And that particular striker was Mhueka.
Superb. Superb. The ball, I'll tell you what, that just reinforces everything that I've been saying. This match, this season, Genesis Antwi, ready to play for the first team. The quality of delivery, superb. Jesse Derry, quality of delivery today has been superb. Mhueka, I've been asking, why have we not got him in the first team more often? Even if it's just on the bench, I really want him to play on the bench today against Charlton. I think it's unfair on these youngsters that they can be doing this and not get a look in when you've got João Pedro and Leon Delap struggling to make an impact whenever they come off the bench. Oh, Crystal Palace going straight through here. Great sliding challenge from Tayo Subaloy. But when it clicks, it clicks. And these youngsters, they have talent in areas where the first team have gaps. Fullback, number 9, wings. I just think give them an opportunity and the confidence it would give them, the boost it would give them, the experience it would give them, even to just be involved in a match day squad. I hate seeing 2 goalkeepers on a bench in a match day squad. I don't care what the competition is. You shouldn't have 2 goalkeepers on your bench. There is somebody else from the academy you can choose instead of that academy goalkeeper that you're putting on the bench. I don't get it. And players like Genesis Antwi, oh, what a ball. Antwi's through again on the right. Players like Antwi, Mhueka, Derry, I'll be honest, if they don't start getting minutes soon, I'm going to be getting a lot more vocal about it because, again, this 6 months that we're going to, play now, it's virtually a clean slate. There's virtually nothing to lose. We might as well take a gamble, take a risk, give these youngsters an opportunity, or at least some of them. But yeah, brilliant team goal from Chelsea there.
First opponent of the new year will be midday when they take on West Ham. Turning his body, letting it go past him.
Oh, another great ball from Jen. Oh, no way. Mhueka's just managed a mid-air Cruyff flick through, and Chelsea have just gone 3-1 up against Birmingham under-18s. The under-18s 3-1 up, under-21s 3-1 up. Come on, we're 2 for 2. Can we go 3 for 3? Andrew Penny. Go on, son. Oh, it was getting shaky there. It was getting a little bit testy there. But you know what? Fucking what a way to start your Saturday, eh? 2 wins out of 2. I mean, it would obviously take a miracle now to change that.
interesting little trivia about Dylan Reid. He's the youngest player to play a men's SPL game for St Mirren back in 2021. When he was
Oh, my hands are freezing. It's fucking cold, isn't it? Can't even use my fucking fingers. Jesus. Right. Genesis Antwi bombarding again. Crystal Palace looking to counter in the 91st. Well stood up, Caden Wilson. Well done. Tell you what, that was the one. After making two weaker challenges earlier, that was the one he needed to get right, and he did. Stood up. Fantastic.
Been a real assuredness from Chelsea ever since they had the lead. Certainly sweating when David Obu would put Palace in the lead, but quickly they would level with Leo Cardozo, and then the goal machine that is Mhueka would score the second and third that has got Chelsea on their way to their first 3 points in Premier League 2 of the new year.
Chelsea looking to get a fourth late on. Thought they'd just rest on their laurels, but
Again, already demonstrated how effective his crossing could be.
Into the 3rd minute of added time now, so there can't be too many more, but Chelsea's still working it on the edge of the box. Oh, go on. Hat-trick Mhueka. Hat-trick of assists, Reggie Walsh. Hat-trick Mhueka. This guy. Hat-trick of assists, Reggie Walsh. Hat-trick of goals, Mhueka. This guy. This is taking a piss, bro. Taking the piss. Taking the piss. What, chills? This is taking a piss, bro. Taking a piss.
He's gone from being very angry at not receiving a pass from Sam Raksaki to not even 2 minutes to smiling at getting a beautiful ball in.
Oh, go on, son. 3-1 to the under-18s. That game is over. 4-1 to the under-21s. I mean, why you wouldn't just blow the whistle then? Yeah, the 3rd and 4th goals from Chelsea today. Superb. Obviously, I didn't see the first. That was Cardoso. That was when the stream cut out. Oh, go on. Raksaki putting Derry through. Nearly. Derry flops to the floor. Exhausted. And there it is, the final whistle. Full time. Fantastic. Great start, great game, great performance. What a performance. What a second half performance, sorry, should I say. Oh, there he goes to get the ball. He ain't messing about. 3-1 to the under-18s. 4-1 to the under-21s. I mean, it didn't look like a given at multiple points in that second half. I mean, even at 3-1, it looked like Crystal Palace could come back and grab another one. But a really, really good start. Really, really good first league game of the year for the under-21s. Like I said earlier, I kind of expected a bit more of a reaction after that big 6-2 defeat to Benfica in midweek. But yeah, really, really solid in the second half. I think Atawampa made a real difference. Keanu Dyer in the first half looked really, really tidy. Sam Raksaki in the second. Reggie Walsh with a hat-trick of assists. Mhueka with a hat-trick of goals. Positives all round from the under-21s or from the academy today. As the under-18s, just a recap of them, they won 3-1 at home to Birmingham, a game that was supposed to be played yesterday but postponed to today. Goals from Reggie Watson, Andrew Penny and Jashade Greenwood gave them a 3-1 win. So 2 out of 2 for the day. The big question is, can Liam Rossinia's Chelsea make it 3 from 3? Are they going to be the ones? Big up, Stephen. Are they going to be the ones to let us down today? Big up everybody that supported us so far in the chat. Error 404, appreciate you joining in. You might have just been bored, but if you have enjoyed it, I mean, look, you can mute us. Just hit that sub button. Just do us a favour. It don't cost nothing. Big up to yourself. Big up, Stephen. How you doing, man? Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. You have a good week. You looking forward to it? Where are you going to be watching the game today? I've been trying to get an away ticket all day. I keep being offered home tickets. I want to go to Charlton away. If anybody's got an away ticket, I can make it down there. But I ain't taking one on the Charlton end. But yeah, get your score predictions in the chat. If you've made it this far, if you're watching now, let me know what you thought of that performance first. But secondly, get your score predictions in the chat for tonight's game against Charlton. FA Cup third round. We've already had a big upset today from Crystal Palace against Macclesfield. Big upset last night. Wrexham getting the better of Nottingham Forest. Can Chelsea avoid a big banana skin tonight against Charlton in the FA Cup? As always, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate everybody that has supported us so far. Obviously, new year, new content. You're going to be getting a new episode of Loan Watch talking about Leo Castledine and all the other loanees across the globe for the 25-26 season next week, as well as blueprint episodes, more match reports. Of course, there's going to be some content coming from the Chelsea game tonight. Everything, if it's got anything to do with Chelsea, we cover it on this channel. Anyway, you know what it is. At Two Blues Podcast on the Instagram and the TikTok. Until next time, up the Chelsea.